wake up in the morning, I roll up and count my money. I'm so wavy, I'm so wavy.
Hello guys, Wavy Ocean here, back with another video. Now today, I'm going to be doing a new what if centering around My Hero Academia and Black Clover. I know I've been doing mostly 7 Deadly Sins and Dragon Ball crossover videos, and I'm going to be making a playlist for all the crossover what ifs that I'm making, and I have one more crossover what if planned at the moment. But if you want to plan any crossover what ifs, or just general what ifs, like bringing one power from one series into another, I would gladly appreciate it, and add me on Discord or just put them in the comment section and I will definitely take them into question. But with that, let's get into the video. Now the first question is, how does he get this power and how would it work in this world? Deku would still have no quirk initially, and he would want to be a hero, so he still tries out for the entrance exam. And here's what happened before that. Deku never meets All Might, but he still trains his body, just as in canon, to increase his physical ability, enough for the entrance exam, and hopefully he gets something out of that. Now, how that training translates to the original growth in the series is in the question. Now, when Deku enters the entrance exam, just as in canon, Urokara needs help, and upon seeing this, Deku jumps into action, and the robot puts their hands on the two, and it's instantly cuts in half. When it's cut in half, it explodes. Deku's just standing there, with a sword in hand, and a glowing red book right next to him. Now, that for the most part ends the more explanation part of the story. I'm going to go on with this what if in a more story-like fashion, but first I need to get some things out of the way, cause at first glance this may not make sense to some people. Midoriya stands there, out of breath, looking at the robot, and the other students look on in shock, asking what happened to Midoriya, and he instantly drops the sword, and it files back into the red floating book, and the book closes and disappears. Midoriya's arms were hurting like crazy due to the sheer force and weight of the object. He could barely move his hands. Aside from being strained, he had no serious injuries. Urokara was looking at Midoriya not in a cryptic manner, but a look of admiration. She could obviously see that he was in pain, but he still provided a comforting smile to her. And before time gets called, Midoriya rests his arm a bit, and he gradually is able to get the feeling back, and can use it at full capacity by the end of the day. But when his arm fully heals, it feels stronger and faster. Of course, he was questioning this new strange power he got, seemingly out of nowhere, and the strange book that appeared as well, but he pushes it to the back of his mind. Now he has to worry about if he actually made it into UA. A few days later, Deku gets a hologram saying that he got into the school, and when he sees the video of Urokara asking for Deku to get more points for rescuing her, Deku reminds to thank her when he sees her again. When they meet Aizawa the next day, they take the quirk test and everything goes as normal until it's Midoriya's turn. Now he remembers exactly what happened when he used that sword. He felt like energy was coursing through him, and more specifically his arm. So he concentrates, and sure enough, a glowing book shows up. He touches the book with one hand and gets the ball with the other. He tries to regulate the energy in his body, and he throws a black streak coming from the back of the ball, and Aizawa is impressed with him more so than ever, because instead of using his sword and putting his arm out of commission for a little bit, he used the part radiating energy for a quick adrenaline rush that amplifies his power. But he's still out of breath after that due to not having good control over it. Ida and Urokara still talk to Midoriya after school, and Ida is more suspicious about the power Midoriya showed, but making no verbal note about it, and the conversation is normal. Urokara calls him Deku from then on, as will I. The next day, they begin the hero training, and the teams are the same, Deku and Urokara versus Ida and Bakugo. Since this is his own quirk, Deku doesn't refrain from using it at the beginning. At first he just uses the book, and then when Bakugo charges up a big blast, Deku brings out the sword and slashes it. There's a big explosion, but it instantly nullifies. It disappears and Bakugo falls on the floor, dazzled as Deku starts to step towards him, with a determination in his eyes, but also a fierce glare. Bakugo was completely unaware of this, and he tries to use his quirk, but nothing comes out. He tries and tries until Deku gets to him. Listen to me, Kachan. You've been bullying me ever since we were kids, but not anymore. How does it feel to be looked down upon by a quirkless, useless Deku? I secured the bomb. It's okay now. Yurikawa snapped Deku out of it before he did something he regretted, and he looks back at Bakugo, who has a scared look on his face. What are you? Can't you see? I'm not the useless punching bag Deku anymore. I'm the Deku who always does his best, and one who doesn't lose control, even when it seems justifiable. Deku then walks away from Bakugo with a look with pity and regret in his eyes. He was one of the most compassionate people anyone knew, but he already lost to the demon, and this wasn't the first time this would happen. But with that, I'm going to end the video off here. I hope you guys like this what if, and this is one of my favorite what ifs to write, because I was able to go through the My Hero Academia manga and include little details and change some things that would normally go overlooked. Sorry at the beginning I was explaining things, I know that's not my style, but I wanted to say something in case some people were confused. But with that, I am not Brony, and peace.